Thanks for staying with us. Now, a news that's perhaps angered many in the capital. A school cab driver who allegedly raped a minor girl and her brothers was beaten up at a police station in Delhi today. The driver of their school van, the man who raped them for over 18 months, is now behind bars. Police said that Lalit, the accused in this case, has confessed to his crime and has also revealed names of his 4 co-accused, who are also all other minors studying in the same school. They shot videos of them on their cell phones and then raped the girl. These men also forced the girl's 2 little brothers to sodomy. Well, the scene is no different in the city of Chennai as well. But good news has come a-calling. A young victim of sexual abuse has got justice after 7 long years. The man who raped her when she was just 9 years old will now be lodged in prison for 10 years. But this is just one needle in a haystack of child abuse cases. So the need of the hour is a comprehensive law to deal with sexual offences against children. My colleague Ragamalika brings you more on this shocking trend in our state.
A young girl who was raped on more than one occasion by her physical training teacher over 7 years ago has got justice at last. The Madras High Court has upheld a fast-track court's judgment that the rapist be jailed for 10 years. It's a victory of sorts for her family, who have fought this case in the court without giving into threats or the fear of social stigma.
நம்ம குழந்தைக்கு நடந்த மாதிரி இன்னொரு குழந்தைக்கு நடக்க கூடாது அவ்வளவுதான். வேற எந்த குழந்தைக்கு அந்த மாதிரி நடக்க கூடாது. நம்ம குழந்தைப்பட்ட வேதனை நம்ம கண்ணால பார்த்துட்டோம். அதனால இன்னொரு குழந்தைக்கு அந்த மாதிரி நடக்க கூடாது.
This conviction comes as a huge relief for the young girl and her family who fought this case for 7 long years. But the need of the hour is a special law to tackle cases of sexual offences against children.
Statistics say that more than 53% of children in India face sexual abuse in one form or the other, and more than half of them are too scared to report. Most of the time, the offender holds a position of responsibility for the child. Take the case of the Dutch national Wilhelm, for instance, who molested children at an orphanage he ran.
Law as such as it prevails today to prove rape, there should be penetration, and the entire thing of making the child repeat this also becomes a real problem, and we find that the ordinary Indian Penal Code addresses the issues of the adults more than the issue of a child in particular. That's the reason why even in this judgment the judge has specifically talked about the importance and need of the hour for having a comprehensive law against child sexual abuse.
The Madras High Court has said in its judgment that a special law is mandatory to combat sexual abuse of children, and even as the Law Ministry has taken steps to introduce a gender-neutral bill to deal with children's sexual abuse in the nation, it's time for the society to report such cases and not brush them under the carpet. In Chennai, with Ragamalika, Bertila, NDTV Hindu.
Now on to some international news. India's Foreign Secretary Nirupama Rao has told NDTV that in her meetings with top officials of the US administration, she has raised India's concerns over its controversial stand on outsourcing and the recent hike in visa fee. Speaking to NDTV, Ms. Rao said she conveyed India's serious concerns on what is being perceived as a growing trend of protectionism in America. Ms. Rao is in Washington to prepare the ground ahead of President Obama's visit to India in November. She met with US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, her American counterpart, the US Under-Secretary of State, and members of the Commerce Department.
The US has taken a provocative stand on issues like H-1B visas and outsourcing. Did you manage to raise India's concerns on this when you spoke with officials at the Commerce Department?
I did. I raised it in a number of my meetings, and I was able to convey to them that the issue was of concern, of serious concern to our industry, and essentially was perceived as a rise in protectionist sentiment in the United States, and we needed to address these issues. But I think the sense that we got in these discussions was that this relationship between India and the United States has acquired a dimension and a relevance that includes a number of areas. And issues such as this, the visa-related issues and the issues relating to the controls that have been placed in this area, need to be addressed, and need to be addressed keeping in mind the larger purpose of this relationship.
In some national news now, the unrest in the Kashmir Valley continues. 3 people were killed in violence that erupted today. 1 was killed and 12 others injured in a firing in the south of Kashmir. The violence erupted during the funeral procession of a student. In a separate firing incident, 2 people were killed in the north of Kashmir. Police say the crowd tried to block the Srinagar-Baramulla highway and resorted to stone pelting. With these 2 deaths, the number of people killed in the valley has gone up to 100 in the last 3 months. Now, in a new twist in the controversy from the world of cricket, fresh revelations of spot fixing once again levelled against the Pakistan cricket team continues to gain disrepute by the day. The latest allegations have to do with yesterday's one-dayer against England. The International Cricket Council has launched an investigation into the Sun tabloid's claim that the 3rd England versus Pakistan one-day international was in fact rigged by illegal betting syndicates in India and Dubai. While thanking the British tabloid for its exposé, the ICC CEO Harun Lorgat has said, and I quote, "Broadly, the information from the Sun newspapers appears to be correct, so we feel it is incumbent upon us to launch a full inquiry, although at this stage we aren't stating anything untoward has taken place," unquote. But in addition to all of that, another incident that did raise suspicion was a run-out of Pakistani skipper Shahid Afridi. He was batting at 34 when that lapse cost him his wicket in the 40th over. At that moment, most experts had termed it as lazy. But now, with the ICC investigating Pakistan's innings for alleged match fixing, this incident has come under the microscope. Well, still ahead on the bulletin, the city's bikers are out to paint the country red, but they have more than just the color on their agenda. That's coming up in just a moment. Do stay with us.